Oh, oh, excited. Excited. I'm all good, yeah? Yes, I'm just trying to remember all the controls. Right, well, hello everybody. You join me and Red, and we are in Watford at Harley-Davidson. Red is out on the Harley-Davidson, I believe, Fat Bob or Fat Boy, I don't bloody remember what it's called. And I am out on the Harley-Davidson Street Glide, which is without a doubt one of the badass looking motorcycles I have ever rode in my existence. Oh, this is in a way it's very intimidating actually when you're looking at the bike, and yeah, when you're when you're getting on it, because it's huge. It is a big piece of machinery. Look at Red posing. The photographers are out in force. Absolutely love it. But yeah, the first few minutes you just got to get used to it. You just got to get a feel for it, haven't you? Especially something so different. The thing that I find when I'm riding stuff like this, like a big cruiser, it's the feet positioning. That's really the only place I would say I struggle. The weight of it, yes, it's heavy, obviously. It's a Harley-Davidson Street Glide. But the feet, because I'm so used to having my feet either below me or in a way behind me. I know that sounds so silly and it's not right. But on a, sports bike almost, they are kind of, your head is a bit forward, especially if you're going for the tuck. Whereas here, I can see my feet. I'm sat literally as if I was sat on my sofa at home. I'm nice and upright, I'm nice and comfortable, and I'm loving life. Oh, corners like a dream. It's actually really nice. It's so confidence inspiring. I honestly thought I'm not going to enjoy the cornering, but it's amazing. Oh, and that noise. Oh, fantastic. Really, really nice. Let's see if I can keep it going, see if I can keep this good form. Look at that. Bit twitchy I was, that's not the bike, that's me, but overall feels great. Feels great in the corners. The weight completely disappears. It really does. It just vanishes. No idea where it goes. Momentum, baby. So for those of you who don't know, I really do have a soft spot for cruisers. A few months ago, Red obviously let me ride his Vulcan S on an airfield, and I absolutely loved it. I have also got to ride at the MCN show recently a BMW R18 again, which is a big cruiser, big heavy sort of touring cruiser, and I do have a soft spot for them. My grandfather absolutely loves cruisers. It's his preferred choice of bike. Growing up around bikes and loving bikes, these were the kind of bikes that, when you're a child and you only have one set image of a bike, this was kind of that image for me. A big burly Harley, and big men, big beards, tattoos, etc, etc. That whole image. And whilst I might not fulfill all of that at all, I do have a massive soft spot, and I really do want to own a cruiser. I don't think I would ever own one as a single, like, solo bike. Like right now I just have the one bike. I think I would have to have one as a second bike, but this on an open road, like maybe even not in the UK, but definitely Europe and America, this would just be so good. This would be incredible. I am so comfortable. Like I said, I feel powerful, I feel big, I feel noticed, which is something that sometimes you don't feel on a motorcycle. You can almost feel very invisible sometimes, but definitely not on this thing. People know you're there, people see it, people respect it. Oh, nice bends. I didn't think I'd want to do twisties on this, but do you know what, I'm encouraged. Give me the twisties, I'll get this thing round, no problem whatsoever. Oh, it's brilliant. My voice is cracking, I'm having so much fun. I'm that happy and that excited. I'll tell you what, I absolutely love this dash. It is incredible. There is so much there, and it's all really big and it's all very clear. I love it. They haven't tried to, they have put a lot there, but they haven't crammed it, you know what I mean? There's still nice empty bits. Everything has its purpose, which is absolutely lovely. There's storage compartments. These speakers are fantastic. I did have the radio on when I was at the dealership just to give it a listen. Won't be using it on the ride. I want to talk to you guys. I want to really immerse with all this. I love this navigational display. That's nice and clear. Road names, etc, etc. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So I suppose the question is, if I was to own a cruiser, would I own, for example, one of these? Especially comparing it to what I have rode, a BMW R18. What I will say in favour of the Street Glide is the R18 was incredibly vibraty. Like when the engine was on and you were just sitting idle, my word, everything shook, and everything shook. Oh, that was a bit of a late one from me. Everything shook, and the front wheel even moved. Like the handlebars all moved. Everything was just a bit, you know, if you weren't paying attention, you could very quickly, you'd risk dropping it. This, obviously it's vibrating, you know, it's a big lump, a 1.8 lump, you know, everything does shake, but the handlebars were quite stable, which I like. You know, I would prefer them to be not planted. Obviously there is some vibration, but now that we're out on the road, my arms are quite still, whereas even on the R18, even when we were moving, it was very shaky. Still a lovely bike to ride, but you know, if we're going to compare it now competition to competition wise, I'd probably say this is a more comfortable ride. Having said that, this obviously I don't think has the punch that the R18 has, but do you need it? Not quite sure you do. Over the last year, especially, you know, a few months, etc., me and Red have we've had big discussions about Harley-Davidson, their marketing, their target audience now. You know, Harley is changing, and you know, let's not break away, let's not hide from the fact that Harley is not in the position that it was 10-20 years ago. You know, they had a lot of favors, especially, you know, in America with politicians, etc, etc, making it easier. It's a tough market nowadays for motorcycle manufacturers, especially Harley-Davidson, where they want to sell motorcycles, of course, but they've now got this new dilemma where they're trying to change almost the manufacturer's image. Me and Red have talked about how they've targeted sort of a lot younger people, influencers, hipsters. I know I don't like to throw that word out there because I find categorizing it is just stupid. Nerds, geeks, hipsters, whatever's going around, I just find them all ridiculous. But that is what they're going for. They're trying to make the bikes a bit more marketable, you know, a bit more everyone can ride one. You don't have to be that, you know, that big burly bloke or that wife of a big burly bloke, or you know what I mean, or a big burly woman, whatever. You don't have to be that anymore to own a Harley. But at the same time, you know, that does come at a cost. You know, you sort of not lose traditions. I'm never going to say that Harley have lost the traditions or the respect. You know, it's definitely still always going to be a brand that people always, you know, if you ask someone who doesn't ride motorcycles, they might, you know, I would probably say they'll say Harley-Davidson. You know, Honda make cars, Yamaha make pianos, Triumph used to make cars. Triumph's very, I think, specific. Kawasaki, maybe, if they know someone with a Ninja. Suzuki make cars. You get what I mean. Whereas Harley, you know, it's that they've probably watched movies and Harley Davidsons, etc, etc. So they'll always have that tradition, that respect, but it's definitely not what they're marketing anymore. It's more younger people. You can have this, you know, be that guy, be that cool, awesome guy cruising down the highway. So I suppose now, you know, when people ask that question, you know, oh, would you ever own a Harley? And that's too broad, because Harley have now ventured into quite a lot of different styles. I think, you know, I don't know what I'd have answered before, because, like I say, it depends on what you think of Harley-Davidson. But now if someone was to be more specific and say, oh, would you own the Harley-Davidson Street Glide? I would have to say a massive yes, because I'm going to base it off this ride. I'd love to live with one of these for a little bit and see what it's like to commute, what it's like for a bit of a weekend jolly. But ultimately, I'm having a lot of fun. It's easier to ride than you might think. If you look at one of these and think no chance, honestly, go give it a go. You haven't got to be the biggest bloke, you haven't got to be the tallest bloke or anything like that. Sometimes I do feel a bit more secure because I am a bit taller and I have the leg length, but you know, I am nowhere near, you know, I do not have the muscle power to lug one of these around. No chance. Need to get me in a gym for probably a few years. But yeah, when it's moving, absolutely fine, absolutely lovely. So go test ride one, or go to a Harley dealership and just test ride anything, because now obviously the new Sportster S is getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of hype. I tell you what, this is a great little test, and this just shows how easy this bike is to ride. We're in a really narrow residential is the word I was looking for, estate. Cars parked either side of the road, not sharpish bends, but you know what I mean. They're not exactly, you can't see around the corner. And look how well it's not intimidating. It will happily do it. You want to pop to the shops and get some milk? Take your Harley-Davidson, take your Harley-Davidson Street Glide. It can do that. So we're back at the dealership. I thoroughly enjoyed this so much. Thank you so much to Harley-Davidson for letting us go out on these. Bags of torque, just enough power, and yeah, everything you could ever want on a motorcycle. Hopefully that photo comes through, because that would look badass. Oh, great fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and yeah, hopefully me and Red can get out on even more bikes, because it just seems to be riding other bikes at the moment. But yeah, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the Harley-Davidson Street Glide, let me know what you think about any Harley-Davidson really, and yeah, until the next video, thank you for watching, and stay safe. Cheers guys. Where are you going? Or